We are Mr. the Fanboy, the most reckless force in all of the YouTube today. Tonight's episode of TNA Impact was awesome. This was an awesome show. The show started off with Mr. Anderson dragging Earl Hebner to the ring and demanding him to change the decision to last week's match. Change the decision. Earl Hebner said he will not change the decision, and then Mr. Kennedy tries to intimidate and bully him. Earl Hebner says he will not be intimidated and he will not be bullied by Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson then mocks him, and Earl Hebner calls him an a-hole, and then Mr. Anderson knees Earl Hebner in the gut, thinks about it for a moment, and then sets him up for the mic check. Brian Hebner, Earl Hebner's son, comes to his rescue. Mr. Kennedy then mocks both of them. Then Sting, he comes out and tells both of the referees to clear the ring. Him and Anderson share harsh words, and they begin brawling. RVD then comes out, and he says he refuses to take the victory he had last week. So he decides to add Mr. Anderson to the title match at Lockdown, making it a three-way. Eric Bischoff and Hulk Hogan come out and then make a 6-person tag team cage match between Anderson cage match for later tonight. Okay. This was an awesome segment. This was really an awesome segment to start the show. This segment was really awesome. The first match of the night was Shannon Moore versus Scott Steiner. This was a pretty good match to start the show. Scott Steiner wins with the Frankensteiner. Orlando Jordan and Eric Young were on commentary the whole match. After the match, they tried to greet Crimson and Scott Steiner. Scott Steiner and Crimson walk past them. Then Eric Young and Orlando Jordan get attacked by Douglas Williams and Magnus after the match. Like I said, good match there. The next match of the night was between Max and Jeremy Buck. This was an awesome match, but I really hope they're not breaking up Generation Me, because they're a really awesome tag team. I hope they're just breaking them up right now because they have the X Division pay-per-view coming up soon. But that's what I hope this is. But like I said before, this was really an awesome match. The next match of the night was between Winter and Velvet Sky. This was an awesome match. Winter wins the match when Angelina Love comes out and beats up Velvet Sky. Angelina Love is in this storyline is being hypnotized by Winter. So so it's like Angelina Love is heel now, and so is Winter. And so like I said before, this was an awesome match. The main event of the night was between Mr. Anderson, Sting, and RVD versus Brother Ray, Abyss, and Matt Hardy, Immortal. This was an awesome cage match to end the show. Before the match, Mr. Anderson comes out for his entrance, and Sting attacks him and lays him out. Meanwhile, during the match, Anderson later wakes up and is just sitting down watching Sting and RVD get beat up. In the match. Hulk Hogan then comes down and tells Anderson to get in the cage. After Anderson refuses to get in the cage, Hulk Hogan attacks him and throws him into the cage. Throws him into the cage and throws him inside. Immortal then pinned Mr. Anderson to get the win. After the match, Immortal continues to beat down. Fortune hits the ring to make the save, but the numbers are too great, and Immortal is still beating him up. Then, in my favorite moment from this show, out of nowhere, Christopher Daniels makes his way through the crowd, climbs the cage, and hits a giant body press on to Immortal, revealing himself as the fourth man who will join Fortune versus Immortal at Lockdown. Like I said before, this was an awesome pay-per-view. Professional wrestling is really good right now. Doug 8798 out.